Call this meeting to order. Tonight we're going to be led in the pledge by four youth from Youth Leadership Rutherford, Muhammad Ali, Greer Kimball, Seth Shepard, and Morgan Henderson.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. I'd like to welcome everybody to this special call zone meeting. Hopefully we can go away tonight with some kind of agreement, I guess you could say, on who's going to actually be going to the new Stewart's Creek High School. Before I turn it over to Mr. Odom, I'd like to just welcome County Commissioner Jeff Phillips with us tonight. He's going to speak with us after we deal with the zone line issue. Also, we've got one change, number 2 on the agenda, where we, TSBA President Raina Jones was supposed to come speak with us. She had an unexpected emergency where she had to leave town and go back. So she basically said she'll come back another time. So this time I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to Mr. Odom, and you can basically let us see what you got laid out.
Mr. Morgan, would you place up the map, please? We have, this map is essentially the one that you've seen for the last couple of times. So the change is that there's one area up there called Sunnyside Court. Will you point to that for them? We had it's that one little cul-de-sac right there that he has the cursor on. There are 5 students in that, and 3 of them had called us and said that they would like to go on to Stewart's Creek. And an interesting thing, you notice that the bus with the yellow, which goes back to Smyrna High School, it actually works out better for us for transportation because they actually walk to the end of that cul-de-sac and load there on the old Nashville Highway. If we take them back to Smyrna, there's nowhere for the bus to turn around. They'll have to go further past them or somewhere and turn around to come back. So it would be my recommendation that we add that one street, which is the Sunnyside Court, to that. It just makes sense from transportation and the interest of the people that's involved. But the rest of the map, I think, is pretty much the same as what we've had all along. But we are prepared to answer your questions or come back with some of the numbers that you've asked in the past if you'd like to look at that. But our recommendation will be this map.
I guess one question I have, I briefly mentioned something to you. Somebody had called me or sent me an email on Pender Court. Can you look at?
In Overton again, Pender Court, will you show that one?
Overton is going to be this area right here.
I'm not sure exactly which street is Pender Court on that one.
I believe it's either this one or this one.
I think it's the 2nd Street.
Is there a specific question?
No, I just.
That one is in the Stewart's Creek zone. Part of that.
You got that whole area right there.
Right.
You got actually more than one street.
Yes, sir.
So this is what you're recommending, right?
It would be, the motion, or our recommended motion would be that we approve this as presented.
Okay. Mr. Chairman, I don't know if this is the time or I need to wait for us to get another, I guess we need to get a first and a second, but I would like to make an amendment after that occurs, if that occurs.
We have to, we basically have to do Mr. Owen's motion first.
Yes, sir.
I'm prepared to make that motion to approve this matter.
Motion made by Mr. Tackett.
Second.
second by Mr. Nipper. Any discussion?
Okay, now I can add my amendment. What I would like to include we've already approved rising juniors and seniors to stay in their schools. I would like to include a rising freshman and sophomore when there is a rising junior or senior already in that school. So I would like to add that amendment to the recommendation.
Would be a sibling
A limited sibling.
We presented you, you have a second sheet if you'd like to look at those numbers. Which, the column to the right, the first two columns, 10th and 11th, was a grandfather that we approved really on the front end. I think maybe at the first, second meeting, we approved that. Added to the right, I've asked Mr. Morgan to add the siblings as best we can tell where they will be. So that has been added.
We've got a motion by Mr. Blair to add the siblings.
Second.
Ms. Blankenship has seconded. Any further discussion?
You know, and I know it still is somewhat problematic for us because of how crowded Blackman High School and in the other schools, but yeah, I think this is about as fair a remedy for those that are in that particular situation. And fortunately, the limited sibling rule will at least work its way through in 4 years, where we've had some that's taken several years. So.
Question on Mr. Odom. I mean, are these numbers for the 8th and 9th grade? Are they the 50% type that
No,
you can?
this would be the total.
The total. Okay.
What Mr. Nipper is saying is that we talked about the last time we did this, we went back and looked at the Siegel, when Siegel in Oakland, and roughly, if you recall, the numbers that we had at that time, that roughly 52% of the students left, but only 36% left if they were in 12th grade. So we found that combined together, it was actually 44.9% at Oakland. So roughly somewhere, if it follows the same protocol, 40 to 50% of the siblings will stay, and 40 to 50% may choose to go on to Stewart's Creek High. So 50% is probably a good guess.
Good guess.
It's an incredible facility, even at 60% complete. I think when our parents and our students have the opportunity to actually see the facility, just going to be so very impressed. It's just state of the art. Just again, very proud to have this facility going up in Rutherford County.
Well, let me say on top of that, I was at Smyrna Town Hall today for a luncheon, and the buzz down there was that this school is going to really do great things for Smyrna. All the people are excited about it. Smyrna's looking to rally around it, along with Smyrna High School, and really, really support this.
Anybody else? What we'll do first, let's vote on the amendment. Ms. Michaels, you want to do a roll?
Ms. Blankenship? Yay. Mr. Holiday?
Yes.
Mr. Nipper?
Yes?
Mr. Blair?
Yes.
Mr. Tackett?
Yes.
Mr. Young?
Yes.
Mr. Hodge?
Yes. All right, the amendment passed. Let's vote on the original motion with the amendment now. The original motion was made by Mr. Tackett, seconded by Mr. Nipper. So, Ms. Michaels, take roll, please.
Okay. Mr. Young?
Yes.
Mr. Tackett?
Yes.
Mr. Holiday?
Yes.
Mr. Nipper?
Yes.
Mr. Blair?
Yes.
Ms. Blankenship?
Yes.
Mr. Hodge?
Yes. Motion passes.
It's been a long, drawn-out process, but I know that with our vote tonight, there are going to be some disappointed families out there, but, you know, the one unarguable point is that Blackman High School is so way overcrowded. And I share Mr. Tackett's comment of several weeks ago that I'm concerned that we still may have a population or capacity problem at Blackman High School if it continues to grow the way it has in the past. So we'll see.
I'm encouraged that not only are we focused on the population at Blackman High School and many of our other schools, some middle schools as well, where we will have challenges in student enrollment, but the board has a strong commitment, and it's consistently voiced to the general public, a strong commitment to have every high school at the highest standard. So it is not that Stewart's Creek High School, while it will be a state-of-the-art facility, is going to eclipse the educational opportunity that's offered at any of our other high schools. And we're going to take special efforts to make sure that that happens.
I want to thank Mr. Morgan, Mr. Odom for the leadership through this process.
Yes.
I feel like I've been extremely well informed throughout. I feel like we not only informed from the standpoint of just handing us information, but also data that supports that information. You know, we were faced with a very tough task. Rezoning always is progress. Growth comes with some cost, and it's unfortunate that in any situation someone, as Mr. Blair's kind of alluded to, someone's going to be faced in a situation that they're not comfortable with what takes place. But you know, I believe we've made a plan here that minimizes that to the lowest level that it can be, but recognizing still that there are some impacted families that will be feel like they've been negatively impacted, and I hate that, but it is the price of progress. I do believe we've been very well informed. I appreciate what you've done, Mr. Odom, as well.
Let me say some of that. I've talked to several people today, and Mr. Tackett can probably tell you too that real estate agents have said that people are moving into this county because of the schools, not just because of Blackman or the new Stewart's Creek, Smyrna or Laverne, all the schools. We should be proud, this district should be proud of all the schools, and that people want to come here and fill up our schools. I know it's a hard job that we've done, but we can be proud of this school system and all the schools.
In January, I plan to bring you a state of the schools, and we'll talk a little bit more about how we did, give you a chance to look at that.
I think in the future, we just got to be prepared for even more changes. I think we're growing, and probably 2 or 3 years, we'll be rezoning again. So if you don't like this zone, we're going to have another zone to look at.
This is not a motion or anything tonight. I'm not bringing it as a motion, but I kind of begin to lay out the plan of how we might make this work. It's probably going to be my recommendation, since we now have the grandfather option, we have the sibling option, that we'll open up on February the 1st, we'll open up the opportunity for people to make a decision. They have a month between February 1st and March 1st to exercise their option to remain as under the grandfather or in the sibling rule, because we really, for staffing, we need to come up with some concrete numbers to do a justification to that. We're also at the same time going to open up, likely that February 1st, for our whole system. If you're going somewhere else, as we do every year, we typically have been opening around March to April, somewhere in that range, but open that also up at February 1st. And there'll be a number of people that are not in this zone that may elect to go to Stewart's Creek or want to apply for a position at Stewart's Creek. We'll run that one probably on till somewhere around April 15th is kind of what we're beginning to look at now, and treat that on a priority basis. You know, if you know that's where you want to go and you want to make a commitment, again, working with instruction and Ms. Barnes and with our personnel and human resources would really help us with the staffing and getting what we want to open this school with a quality program and with the people in place. So February the 1st, I'll bring that back to the board. If it's okay with you, we'll open this enrollment thing, ask people exercising the special options that you've approved to do so by March 1st, others up till April 15th to decide if they're interested in other transfers.
Let me ask you this, I think we meet again next week, regular December meeting. Would you bring that as a motion next week, and then if there's any?
We can, or whenever you like it. Have you got, have you already got your agenda set for next week? No. We can do that, I think, if that's what you want to do.
And that'll give you, if that'll give you enough time to make any adjustments you may need to.
Okay.
Any other thing further?
No, sir.
All right, number 4, Commissioner Phillips. I think he wants to speak to us tonight, so.
Thank you, Chairman Hodge and members of the school board. I think most of you know the reason that I'm here, and I'm going to pass out the new proposed map, redistricting map that's coming out of the redistricting committee. And let me just, number one, emphatically point out that I'm a messenger. If any of you have any ammunition with you, do not shoot in this direction. All I'm doing is sharing some information with you guys. We were charged, this committee, back in May, the county commission made a unanimous proposal to look at redistricting the school board and the road board. Committee was put together. I'm a representative of that committee from representing the county commission. Aaron Holliday represents the school board, and Keith Bratcher represents the road board. The same presentation was made before that road board yesterday morning. The same presentation will be made before the county commission on December the 13th. And let me just go ahead and say that this committee is not making a recommendation that relates to the county commission moving on this in December. Our recommendation is going to be for all of us to absorb this information, get this information out to the public, receive feedback from the public, and us as a commission receive feedback from you on the school board and then members of the road board as well. But we were charged to evaluate the redistricting based upon, number one, principles of compact contiguity, based upon political subdivisions, which really means city limits, respect for communities of interest, and last, protection of incumbents. The original redistricting committee last year ran into issues, not necessarily with the county commission districts, but with the school board and the road board districts. And since incumbency was first on their list, they had an issue with doing anything about it. If you'll take a look at that map, and there's some extra out there if anybody else, I think, wants a copy of those things. If you'll take a look on the left, the current board, or I'm sorry, the current map is, it's readily visible the issues that we have. The northern end of the county especially is quite problematic for some. If you take a look at zone number 2 as an example, it stretches from Davison County to Wilson County. If you take a look at zone number 4, it is not contiguous. And those were the issues that we were faced with, is to take a look at a map. We looked at 7 maps, and the one on the left was the one that we kept going back to, the one that looked best, that met all of the criteria that we thought needed to be addressed, as far as communities of interest, contiguity, and also keeping as many incumbents as we possibly could without not putting them in competition with each other and so forth. The issue was not our main concern. The main concern was to draw a map. It was the easiest of our assignments, and then it took us months and months to I shouldn't say months and months, but several months to take a look at the election cycle. The election cycle that just happened this past year had 3 new school board members elected, and if the new map was implemented, it would affect all 3 of those in an adverse way, because all 3 of them would be in the same proposed new Zone 2, all 3. So we got to the point of how to implement this thing. And let me say that Aaron Holliday was extremely instrumental and knowledgeable, and did an outstanding job of making a recommendation to implement the new plan in the year 2020. The majority of the committee wanted to do something before that, or recommended doing something before that, simply because 2020 would be a new census and a new redistricting, and it would be 8 years out into the future. So their recommendation was to implement if the new map was adopted, to implement in 2016. And let me kind of run through this as quickly as I possibly can. In zone number 1, Aaron Holliday is up for election in 14, and he would also stay and be the only one incumbent in zone 1. In zone 2, you got Coy Young, Helen Blankenship, and David Nipper. As I said, all 3 just elected and would be up for re-election in 2016. Helen is currently in zone 3, and I believe David is currently in zone 6. Is that correct? All 3 of those, due to where they live, would be in the new zone 2. Zone 3 would have no incumbents. Zone 4, Wayne Blair is up for election in August of 2014, and he would be the only representative in that. Terry Hodge is representing Zone 5. He would currently representing Zone 5. He would stay in Zone 5 and be up for re-election in 2016. Zone 6 would have no representative as well, and Tim Tackett, currently Zone 7, the new Zone 7, and would be up for re-election in August of 2014. Why 2016? Because that election cycle would make more sense simply because of the people who are put in a particular zone. The 3 new board members would be put in the same zone and would be up for re-election at the same time, and we wouldn't be splitting the election cycles. So 2016 or 2020 would be the best times to implement that, if it were implemented. So the reason I'm here tonight is not to make a recommendation, and let me tell you that it's probably not going to be a unanimous vote if it does come before a vote before the county commission, simply because of some people representing zones for a long period of time, and that process would put a lot of road board members and school board members in new zones representing new county commission districts. So even though my school board member, Mr. Hodge, would still be representing Zone 5, Zone 5 looks a lot different and would look a lot different in the future than it does right now. So a lot of people would be affected, and the issue is not that it's something that's fun to do, okay? The issue that we were charged with was what I went through a minute ago. Communities of interest, compactness, recommendation that's coming out of the committee will be presented before the county commission on December the 13th, and they won't be asked to make any type of recommendation until at least January. And at that time, if a move is made, it'll probably be made then. What will that do? It'll actually give you the opportunity to look at this thing, get feedback from the people you represent, and also the public in general, give them the opportunity to take a look at it and give us feedback on how to go about it as well. And I've had this asked to me several times, and I mean this several times. What are you going to do as a county commissioner? What I'm going to do as a county commissioner, I think, will do what I always do. I'll listen to the people who are influential to me, the people who voted me in office, and I represent them. Your chairman is chief amongst those right now. He will influence me. My my road board representative will influence me, and I am not in a position to say that my mind is made up at all. Okay? So, and that's what I mean by don't shoot this messenger. We've had a task, and I'll go ahead and say that Corey Young, before he was elected, was on that committee and attended several meetings and knew the confusion that we were going through the first few meetings that we had. Jim Estes replaced him when Corey was elected, and has done a really good job filling in for Corey. And I think the committee has met for months, and this was a recommendation. I think the map was unanimously liked by the committee. The implementation process was what we had trouble with, and it continues to be problematic, and we as a committee understand that. So that's the pitch, and if you'll take a look at both of those, you'll see, I think, what we're talking about that relates to the compactness, and it gets number 4 looking a lot better, and it gets number 2 looking a lot better. But when it comes to the issue of 3 new school board members being put in the same zone because of where they live, it's an issue that I think we will have to make a decision as to whether it's in the best interest of the entire county, and I think that's what the county commission will do. And I'll be happy to answer any questions that I can, if any of you have any.
Let me ask you this.
Sure.
Is there a bigger map that shows where these boundaries draw the lines on the streets?
Yeah, there is. It's really hard to do them in something that you can visualize here, but there are maps that segregate county commission districts, and those lines still exist. One of the things that we looked at early on was trying to draw lines outside of county commission districts, and we learned that that would violate state law and would not be permitted. So we were bound by the redistricting plan that was passed this past year and implemented this year. If the county commission districts, you can go to the county website and look at those, and it'll show you exactly what those are.
Are you saying that we have to stay within that 5% like the county commissioners do?
That's correct.
Okay. So you're saying Zone 6 is going to stay within 5%?
Correct. It would still represent 3 county commission districts.
3 county commissioners, okay.
The only thing, legally we can do this. The only thing we would have to do is, as the county commission, would pass a private act renumbering the districts that the zone represents. We can do that, I think, without taking it to the state. We may have to take it to the state, get them to approve it, but I think we do that internally.
If I could ask you something, Jeff. Your next meeting's December 13th?
Correct.
That's right. I've had some interest. Some board members may want to speak. We've got a board meeting that night at 4:30. We moved it up 30 minutes. Can you tell me, or tell the new board members formality as far as speaking goes? They have to get there early to sign up, or we allow them to speak in regards to this, or?
I'm not sure where this will be on the agenda, Terry, but it's my guess, the steering committee always makes this last on the agenda, and it will be in and around when the steering committee makes its presentation. I'm assuming that will be the last thing on the agenda.
Okay.
And if school board members would like to speak, we'd probably have to suspend the rules and allow that to happen. As a commissioner and my school board member or road board member, especially my school board member, would have that privilege. And I can even talk to Mayor Burgess and see if it's possible to put you on the agenda. Probably not, but we can suspend the rules and allow that to happen.
Okay. Anybody else?
The real thing is kind of twofold. Do you like the map? Okay. If you like the map, do you like the election cycle? And if you don't, it's kind of another issue too. Once again, we looked at 2016 and 2020. And 2016 was chosen because 2020 is 8 years away, and we would have 16, 18, and 20, 3 different election cycles to go through before we reach that. There were those that thought it was a little too far out.
We've got this on our agenda Thursday night to go in depth on as a board, so you know, get any strong opinions one way or another, we'll discuss it then. And let me ask you one other question. Just curious, I halfway feel like I know how this whole thing got started, but why would you want to go from representation of 3 school board members down to 1?
It's a question that's been asked. I don't have an answer to that, Terry. I really don't. I think it's the northern end of the county, mostly the Laverne area, that would prefer that they be more compact instead of spread out like they are. And I think that's a pretty simple answer, but it's an educated guess that they would like their area to be more compact.
Okay. And last question, this may not be a good question. I know when the county commission went through their districts on all 21, did they have any conflicts?
I don't recall any at all.
Okay. I'm just asking the questions.
Maybe the attorney's office could help, but I think incumbency was on our list. I had actually forgotten that it was, and Aaron pointed it out to me very clearly in our last meeting that it was there, and it was listed last, but it is a consideration. I think the original redistricting committee that redistricted for the county commission districts, incumbency was the #1 bullet on their list. There is no way to draw up a new map for the school board, road board, without doing some conflict, without creating some conflict with current school board members and road board members too.
That's a big job.
Yeah, maybe it could have been addressed a little bit better last year. I don't know that. I know that committee met and they redrew some lines, you know, like my district as an example, there was some city neighborhoods that were taken and put into in conjunction with some county districts as well, and that really, in my memory, never happened before. clearly defined. Instead of the back of the neighborhood, they were looking at roads and little streams, something that could really clearly define something. Everything meets muster the +5 population would still exist simply because there are also county commission districts in there. It's not a problem in doing that. Once again, Aaron's been through this process. He can probably answer any questions. If you'd like for me to attend that meeting, I say at 4:30 on the 13th, I'll be more than happy to do that if you want me to. Wayne?
It would take a supermajority to approve this proposal, wouldn't it? Since you're overturning a previous commission. I wouldn't think a simple majority would override commission action, because I know that normally we have to have a supermajority to
Question.
so there's 21 members, so I don't know what a supermajority consists of, but I know it's more than 11. 14? So, okay.
I'm just not sure. To redo county commission districts would probably be a supermajority, but to redo district lines that relate to the school board and road board, I just don't know. That's a good question.
Okay.
We'll find out.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else?
Thank you.
All right, Commissioner.
Thank you for your time tonight.
Appreciate you.
Chairman, I noticed the agenda that's published right now for Thursday night does not list this topic. If we could amend that agenda to list this.
Okay. Did you? It wasn't on there? Just
I-
not on-
It should have been.
I didn't see it. I'll jump over to the website again. Let me check real quick. Mike Belden, school capacities, building plan, additions, renovations to new schools. Oh, there's page 2. Sorry, it's there. Didn't go down. Sorry.
Anything else? You got anything, Mr. Holden? All right, there's nothing else. We'll see everybody Thursday at 5 o'clock. We're adjourned.